He lured me outside. I was young, I was naive. Of course, I came outside. And then suddenly I hear a sound of like footsteps running behind me. He just rushed me, hammered on the back of my head. I was blocking it, trying to do something. I didn't know how to defend myself yet. After I got up, like I touched the back of my head where I felt like some kind of strange sensation, and it was just blood all over my hands.
Well, I love the San Gabriel Valley.
Welcome to the My SGV podcast.
So I grew up here and I still live in Alhambra.
I was raised in between Temple City and Alhambra.
Eventually resided in South San Gabriel.
Our mission is to capture and share the stories of the people of the San Gabriel Valley.
Monterey Park has pretty much been my whole life.
Well, I'm proud to say that I was born and raised in the San Gabriel Valley.
We believe our diversity is what makes the SGV great. And no matter where you are from in the San Gabriel Valley, you will feel welcome. All right, SGVers, welcome back to another episode of the My SGV podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are new here, welcome. We bring you the stories of the people of the San Gabriel Valley. And if you are a returning listener, thank you so much for spending this time with us. We really, really do appreciate it. Well, Aaron, I forgot how we connected. I'm sure it was like on Instagram or something, right? But I have been to Aloha Food Factory before.
Yeah.
And it's one of the few, not only the few like Hawaiian style food restaurants in the San Gabriel Valley, but been around for decades, 30 years, I think.
3 decades.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Decades, yeah.
And anybody who knows any restaurant in the San Gabriel Valley to last that long, like you've got to have doing something right. We're going to get into your story, but before that, thank you to Paris Baguette for sponsoring the delicious pastries each and every week for our guests. If there are 4 guests for the day, we get 4 boxes, and usually they do a savory or a sweet box. So one of the sweets are gone, one of the savories are gone. And I always try to find out, or I always try to guess what box the guest is going to pick. So actually, I guess that Aaron may not even take a box because he's health conscious. So we'll see. But thank you to Paris Baguette. Go check them out in the city of San Gabriel on Las Tunas, and say hi to Jason and Joanna for us. He was born in Hong Kong under British rule and grew up in Rosemead and Monterey Park in a strict immigrant home shaped by fear and discipline. Bullied for his weight, expelled in junior high, and later jumped badly enough to need stitches, he found his first real agency through training. When his mom stopped paying for Taekwondo, he cleaned floors and restrooms to earn his spot, rode his bike daily, and built a community around respect and honor. But life kept testing him. He lost his mom to lymphoma, and a near path into law enforcement that collapsed after a DUI, and a rock-bottom moment in an OC jail. He rebuilt from the inside out and now carries a 30-year Alhambra legacy, fighting through redevelopment threats, lawsuits, shutdowns, break-ins, floods, and failing equipment. Please welcome to the show owner of Aloha Food Factory, Aaron Luong. Aaron, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Russell. Thank you for having me today. It's my first podcast, so I'll be lying if I say I'm a little tad nervous, but I'm really excited for this and really excited to be able to express my story and show how it is to kind of live an entrepreneurial life.
When you say podcast, I hope that you can just that all this will just sort of fade away into the background, and then you and I will just be having a conversation, because that's really how it is. Yeah. I just am here to share your story, right? And I'm interested in it, and sort of when we talked, the conversation just first went off into business, right? And I was like, how did you get that grit? How did you get that? And then you sort of backed up a little bit and you told me about your weight loss journey, your bullying and stuff. And I was like, boom, there it is. That's the thing, right? That I want to try and share here. So it's just us chatting.
Yeah.
Right. So let's go to the beginning though. What's your connection to the San Gabriel Valley?
I immigrated to Rosemead at the age of 4, and from there I kind of lived in between Rosemead and Monterey Park throughout my life. During college, I traveled over to Cal State Long Beach to get my degrees, and then now I'm back here running the restaurant.
So at a very young age, you came to the SGV in Rosemead. So whereabouts in Rosemead and whereabouts in Monterey Park?
I guess we can start with the schools, right?
Just where did you live? What areas?
Monterey Park, that was just down the street from Monterey Vista High School. So right there where Garvey Ranch Park is.
Oh, okay. On the hill.
The hilly areas.
Yeah. Orange.
And aside from that, I pretty much lived in that same house ever since 2002.
Okay.
Possibly. The same house in Rosemead. It's right there by the 10 freeway between San Gabriel and Wanna Grove.
Okay.
That's as far as I'm gonna get into the.
Because I'm from Monterey Park, so I want to know, like, if you're
What
my
area-
neighbor.
How close are you?
Oh, I mean, I used to live on McFerrin and Hellman. I live in Pasadena now, but I used to live McFerrin and Hellman. But my friends lived on Orange Street, Orange and Hellman, more like right next to Marqueble.
I think there was like a place called Legends there. Like I used to buy Pokemon cards at. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, but okay. So you came to the SGV pretty early, and what was it like growing up in those areas?
Well, at a very young age, it seemed very different for me. Like I did remember going to school with bruises.
With bruises?
Yeah, it was discipline.
Discipline. Oh, well,
And
I have a different word
do
for that,
recall,
but
I do recall like the teacher asking me this, like one memory that I had. The teacher asking me, "Oh, like, what happened?" I really didn't know what to say, and that's kind of how I grew up. It was very strict, and so I kind of grew up with this like deep fear, like of I'm gonna get in trouble, and so because I was running away from that fear, I would overcompensate and like do my best to fulfill or accomplish whatever I needed to accomplish in order to avoid that fear of getting in trouble.
sure. Oh man. So are you okay? I didn't know that. You say
wasn't that
discipline,
bad.
and I hear abuse. Like to leave a bruise on a child. I mean, I think actually even to hit a child is wrong. But what did you get in trouble for?
I couldn't tell you. I think I recall one time where I got in trouble for playing games, like playing a Game Boy too much, maybe like not paying attention. So that resulted in my Game Boy getting smashed and then thrown on top of the roof. So
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
it's fine. Like I guess I kind of I understood the value of it in a sense. Like that the disciplining part was kind of like we want to avoid, let's say whatever we're responsible for from the worst scenario possible, worst outcome. And that's why to prevent that, there's measures taken. I think that's kind of like the mindset that my mom had.
Oh, this was from your mom. Oh man, I hear in your words your justification for it. Man, that's so much fear. I'm sorry, I'm just feeling so much fear for a young child to have their stuff destroyed. Okay, so you already recognize that you were fearful. So you go to school and you have bruises. Did anybody see you? Did anybody be like, hey, something's not right here?
This was like a one-time incident, like that I can recall. Aside from that, I think a lot of it I got in line, essentially, and so a lot of the abuse didn't really happen after that. And over the years, I did grow, develop a more kinder relationship with my mom where we had understanding. She was an immigrant as well, so how they do it in Vietnam, I guess she just brought those traits with her initially, and from there, that's the only way that she knew how to discipline me.
Sure. That's an understanding of it. But man, I hope, can I offer you a different perspective on that? Maybe if the hitting stopped or the smashing of your things stopped, the abuse doesn't stop if you're now living in fear. That's terrible. That's almost worse. It's almost worse because I can point to a bruise. I can be like, look what you did, right? But the fear you can't really point to, but it's there, right? It's for sure there. And to live under that is horrible, man. And I'm speaking to you as someone who lived with a lot of fear intentionally placed upon me, right? And then when I think you described it as like you toed the line or you fell in line or something like.
Fell out of line, and then afterwards I fell in line.
Yeah, so that's bullshit, man. That is just it's a lie. It's a lie. We should be able to be free and be ourselves and be kids. So that's a pretty tough start.
Yeah. So reflecting on that, I realized that that forced me to bottle up my core self in a way.
Who is your core self? Do you know who you are?
Someone I'm kind of like I've been getting to know a lot better. He's been able to like ever since I kind of went through the phase of looking introspectively, working on the self-love thing. I was able to really connect with that person. He's like a kind person. He's curious. All he wants to do is have fun.
So that's a tough way to be living, just existing. Every like it's more like survival, not really living, right? So what was school like for you? What schools did you go to, and what was that like?
I went to Monterey Vista first. Well, I don't remember the ones. I think it was Williams as a preschooler. From there, I got transferred to Monterey Vista, where I spent my kindergarten to third grade. Third grade was like one of the best years of my life. Not, well, like the best early years of my life. I guess I had a great teacher, and I was excelling in class. Come fourth grade, we moved to Rosemead from Monterey Park, and from there, it was kind of like a night and day difference.
How so?
One, because of the transfer, and two was because the teacher was also really mean, and that that kind of triggered the fear in me, the yelling and just the aggression from the teacher.
Was it a male teacher?
Female.
Female teacher.
Yeah.
Where's your dad in all this?
He was in the family, but he wasn't playing an active role because he just lounged around the house. He was very passive.
I see. Okay. So now you're at in Rosemead. It's a new school, and you mentioned that you were bullied going to school or at
Yes.
school.
So
when did that start?
Exactly after the transfer, so fourth grade on.
So
That's when the bullying started.
Can you go back there and take me through that? Is that okay?
That's fine. Yeah, I just remembered kids are mean. They'll make fun of you for any reason just to put you down. So as I'm away from home, wanting to be my natural self, people would just find a reason to put you down. And kids, they don't know better, so I totally get it. I remember names like Fat Foo, because that's my legal name, Foo. So it just rolls off the tongue for them, and that's how they would call it. And every day I would be made fun of for being fat.
Jeez. So I'm so like, this happens every day in school in one way or another. And I'm not making your experience lighter.
No, I agree with that.
But like, how the hell do you expect children to learn in an environment like that? How can you expect them to fully be present and excited to learn when every day they're gearing up for war? Anyway, so I'm sorry. So back to your story. So how did you deal with all that? Who was there for you? Who did you tell?
I couldn't really tell anybody. I was a child. I was 9 years old. I guess one way was to make some friends, take and participate into hobbies. So we would just distract ourselves. Of course, it wasn't everybody bullying me. It was just the select few, the ones that wanted to dominate, I guess. And that was the occasional like name calling. Got into fights. That happened.
And then you started. How did you get into martial arts? Like, where did that enter your life?
That was later in life. So I always wanted to train in martial arts. My mom was afraid that I was going to cause a lot of trouble, beat other people up, and of course liability back to her. So I didn't get to train in martial arts at a young age. I just admired it.
Oh, okay. So then, how did you overcome these bullies, or did you ever do that?
I think I just assimilated with them. Yeah, I got along with them. I learned to get along with them. I kind of shapeshift. More often, like, I started acting out as well, becoming like hard and like talking the way they would talk, like more street, I guess.
And did they accept you?
The bullying was lightened. I didn't really get picked on much after that. That allowed me to survive through fourth grade.
Aaron, who knows this story? Who have you told this story to?
In this depth, probably no one.
Oh my God, those are years of going through difficulty, and I imagine that you probably still experience something now today. So you didn't tell anybody. You tried to solve this problem on your own, in a way that's maybe not the best, but you do what you do to survive, right?
Occasionally, the teachers would step in because they could blatantly see it, and they would reprimand the students briefly, or tell a story of how there was some incident at another school. That would pause the bullying for a bit. Sure enough, after maybe a week, the bullying would resume.
God, you speak of bullying as if it's like a daily occurrence. It sounds like that.
It wasn't like the severity of it per day, like each day wasn't too bad. Maybe there would some days it would just be a bit too much. Other days, it would just be a simple name call.
Okay, so now you're in your adolescence. Where do you go for high school?
San Gabriel High School.
San Gabriel High School. And what happens then with the bullying and all that?
I think I don't know if we want to go back to the middle school portion.
Yeah, whatever. It's your story. It's your story.
Middle school was kind of when it was the worst.
Oh, okay.
That was where the stitches happened,
Okay.
the bloodshed. a lot of physical conflicts or physical. I was just getting battered.
You were
not often.
like, were you standing up for yourself, or they're just jumping you?
There were just these few severe incidents that happened.
Take me through one of them.
Okay, so the incident that I wrote about in the bio with the stitches, I was in front of my house. I think I was playing the trumpet or something. One of this boy, he's my mom's friend's son. He's like 3-4 years older than me. So by the time I was in middle school, he was already in high school making his whole group of friends. He lured me outside. I was young, I was naive. Of course, I came outside, and then suddenly I hear a sound of like footsteps running behind me. There was this tall high school kid, high school age. He just rushed me and just hammered on the back of my head. I was defending, I was blocking it, trying to do something. I didn't know how to defend myself yet. But the adrenaline, I didn't really feel much of the pain. After I got up, like I touched the back of my head where I felt like some kind of strange sensation, and it was just blood all over my hands, on the back of my head. And I was like not too far from the front of my house.
Why did he do that?
He has been bullying me for a long time because he was my mom's friend's son. I guess we didn't I couldn't rock the boat. Like I could say and tell, explain, but it would just, nothing would have happened.
Oh, you mean your mom would have defended him, or
like to ease the tension? I guess with her friend, maybe she would diminish it. They would both diminish it, or like if they confronted him, he would diminish it. He doesn't want to get in trouble.
Oh, so you were saying something.
I was.
Oh man. I'm not a therapist. I just have an experience. Actually, not even like that. But wow. Okay. So what happened then? What happened from that incident?
From that incident, that's kind of when there was finally a hard stop to it. We were able to just separate entirely.
Was it the same guy the whole time? From when you first came to school? Was it that guy?
No.
Oh.
That guy did. He started the bullying then, though. He started from 4th grade since we moved. But yeah, I mean, he started from 4th grade. It got on to that point when I was in, I believe, 8th grade. And that's when I was finally able to learn martial arts in a sense. A lot of it was just more disciplining, going through the physicalities of like learning how to move my body better, learning, having something to occupy my time with rather than just at home and getting involved.
Who took you to martial arts?
I rode my bike there.
You signed yourself up?
My mom signed me up.
Oh, okay.
Of course, whenever there was no one to give me a ride, I would just ride my bike.
So now you're are you still overweight at this point?
If I look in the mirror, I think I feel okay about myself. There are times where like emotionally I would fluctuate. Let's say I had a week of overeating or something, maybe succumbing to some stress. Then I would feel a little bad about myself, and then the image of the fat kid would come up.
Oh, well, I'm saying at that time, like when you first started martial art, were you an overweight kid still?
When I first started, I think I was I was a bit overweight.
So the bullying stops, and now you enter into learning martial arts.
Yes.
And you pour yourself into that.
Yes.
And are you a black belt in Taekwondo? Is it Taekwondo?
Yes.
Do you know Jason Han?
No, I don't.
No?
I've kind of been disconnected from the community ever since I went to college.
He was a friend and a guest on the show. I think he was on the Olympic Taekwondo team.
That's intense.
So what did that do for you as a person, as a young man, to now have this skill?
The funny thing is I never had to use it. It did a lot for me. It was my first community, I guess you would say. I established friendships there. My first relationship was there. It really allowed me to push myself and to really see what I was capable of physically, and it really developed grit, I would say.
I bet nothing in that training could even compare to the years of training that you had before.
In terms
of what you could actually endure.
So the Taekwondo days or the current days?
So what I'm saying is, like, I bet nothing in Taekwondo was as difficult than years of being bullied.
True. Those days of being bullied, there was nothing I can do about it. There was no agency.
Wow. So where did you learn Taekwondo?
Chun-Li Studios.
Where's that?
Right across Rosemead High School.
Okay.
So
Oh, I think I know
another
what it
connection.
is. Yeah.
It's right there next to the In-N-Out.
Yeah.
The In-N-Out was always tempting after class.
Oh, okay. Okay. And then so you maybe changed your diet at that time too?
I think it was more of increased activity for the most part.
You're still
It was just
young.
like
You can
eating
eat whatever
less.
you want, right?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then where does your journey, how was high school for you? You went to San Gabriel High
I
School?
went to San Gabriel High School. My freshman year, I kind of went in with my head down because I knew I sort of have like enemies. That's what I thought. But I wasn't afraid because, I was capable of defending myself or doing something at least. And I made it through high school with very little or no physical altercations at all. There was your simple, what they call hitting you up, like where you're from.
How did you escape not, joining a gang? So elaborate on that for me.
So I got along with the good and the bad people. It's just about making friends. A lot, like freshman year was a little daunting, but once I overcame freshman year and I got into a rhythm of like knowing people, not necessarily being friends with them, but just knowing people, the connections that you make, they kind of allow for your own safety. Because they'll just say simple things like, "Oh, this guy's cool, don't mess with him," stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I totally know what that is like. Yeah. I had friends in various gangs. I never heard them say those things, but I figured, plus I played sports, so they didn't really mess with me. But it's interesting to hear you describe high school as I didn't get in a physical altercation.
No.
Versus all the numerous other ways that you could have described that time. Yeah.
I think that the period where I was able to join the community in Taekwondo, that really developed my mindset at that age to know how to adapt and understand like what are the dangers out there. What is going to give me the best experience. Probably didn't break it down to that level at in that age, but I was just kind of living day by day. But going to school was fun for me in high school.
And how was your home life like at that time?
It was for the most part consistent. I was still very restricted in that I would have to just go to school, go home. That was my life, unless it was Taekwondo. So there was always that escape there, and I really appreciated having that.
Go to school, go home.
Yeah.
Oh man. So after high school, where does your journey go?
I wanted to select a college that was far enough where I could still return home, and Cal State Long Beach was the ideal location in terms of distance, about 30 minutes away. So I went to Cal State Long Beach, and that's where like another fresh restart to life happened.
How so?
Because I didn't get a lot of the partying and the fun stuff and the big group of friends of going out in high school, that all pent up and kind of got released in college. First day in college, wanting to join like a fraternity, because I did try out for a social club in high school. Didn't make it because of one person. I guess someone had something against me. So I didn't make it, and that was fine. I'm glad I didn't make it because I probably would have ended up not on the path that I am now if that happened. But in college, the first thing I wanted to do was to join a fraternity. It was not academics. I was undeclared even. I just went in with the idea of, okay, I'm gonna be a minor in criminal justice, and maybe I'll do business. Priorities first. Join a frat.
And then what was that like?
It was great. I gotta say, like, that really gave me the network. That gave me the friends, the brotherhood, and to this day, because of the connections I made, I'm still great friends with a majority of them that I interacted with, as well as like the other cultural clubs as well. I was a part of like VSA and CSA, on board for those clubs as well.
Take me to you mentioned a story about hitting a low point, a DUI, and ending up in jail.
That was post-college.
Tell me about that. Okay.
So post-college, of course, because I was so involved in the social aspect of things, all I learned and knew was external validation. Being cool, knowing who you know and not what you know. We kind of, I guess my mindset shifted to like relationships and love. Things like that. I didn't know what really love was at that time. I'd gone through a phase where I'm not sure if womanizing is the proper word. It was just like I was lustful or chasing limerence, not understanding like what is the point of being in a relationship, having a set path to making it sustainable. A few years after college, I was still like frequenting the the club life and the partying life, drinking often, because that developed your circle of friends. The more you party, the more friends you think you have. Met this girl. One of my roommates actually brought her back, and I guess there was like some mutual interests, but she had a boyfriend, and her boyfriend was going to pharmacy school in Kentucky. So she told me that she went on a break with him. So then we decided to pursue something together. That separation did not last. Her and her boyfriend. Basically, they were on a pause, but still considered in a relationship. But because I was eased into it, I didn't see the value in myself. I was afraid of losing her. I was afraid that, this is the only meaningful relationship I'll ever have, because I think at that point in time, the dopamine and all the the neurochemicals are so high that it's addictive, and it makes you like addicted to the thrill of it, the thrill of just hiding behind someone or doing something secretive. That adds to the thrill of it. That adds to, I guess, my personal perspective of the weight it had at that time. So that's why I didn't see the self-worth of myself, and allowed it to continue for 8 months. After 8 months, she decided, I'm too much of a risk, that she would lose the relationship with her boyfriend. I guess she said she had 2 boyfriends, but she felt like I was a risk, and she wanted to keep me quiet, right? So from there, she filed for a TRO, and that's how I ended up in jail.
So what's a TRO?
A temporary restraining order.
Based on what?
Like
what did she tell the police? Like she just went like, I don't want this guy to come around me. Like, what was the reason?
She said that I pointed a gun at her.
Oh,
yeah,
that's pretty serious.
Yeah.
And did you?
I did not.
Did you own a gun?
Yes.
Or you own a gun?
Yes, that's why. I had a gun, and because we went to the range one time, she said I pointed the gun at her. Never pointed at her.
So you had a temporary restraining order, but then you don't go to jail for that. What did you go to jail for?
You go to jail for that. If there's a gun involved and they have enough probable cause, they're going to arrest you. They're working in the background, building the case, just so they can arrest.
Oh, so you went to jail for violating a restraining order, or you went to jail for pointing a gun at her?
Because there was multiple cases going on. There was a criminal, and then there was the family, which was the TRO. There was 2 cases going on. I don't think I violated anything in terms of like a restraining order, but I think it's to the point where they decided they wanted to arrest me, that they started tracking me and they arrested me in front of a Jack in the Box.
But what was the charge? What did you get charged with?
There was multiple charges. There was a assault with a deadly weapon. That was the biggest one. There was false imprisonment, that one too, because she claimed that I kidnapped her.
Did you go to trial?
I took a plea deal.
You took a plea deal. Who told you to do that?
My attorney.
Was it a public defender?
No, it was I paid somebody for it, and it was an OC.
He told you to take a plea deal on something that you didn't do.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, how can you be?
There was a lot of noise that they generated. The DA at the time with the detectives and everything. There was the arrest. There were a bunch of text messages. It wasn't even that much. It was more of statements that she made, statements that one of our mutual friends made, who was a girl and sided with her. But I also had a ton of defense. I had friends that came over that night. But because of all the complexities, the plea deal was, the thing is, for a felony like that, the plea deal was to just do 70 hours of community service and 3 years probation.
Oh, it's a felony. Oh yeah, assault with a deadly weapon.
Yeah.
So what happens if you violate that?
I guess all the other charges would get active.
And you would go to jail.
Yes.
Did you serve any time?
But think about it, they made it such a lucrative plea deal that I would have been stupid not to take it than to just pay a lawyer to fight it in court. I was weighing my options at that time, and I point blank asked my lawyer, "What do you think I should do?"
But how can you be put away if there's no evidence for that?
Evidence of the gun itself. I was actually stupid enough to sell the gun to my roommate, and because of that, it flagged in their system, and they went to Turner's to pick up the gun. So everything was just played out like that because I couldn't keep the gun. When you have a TRO, you can't keep a gun. I was like, okay, maybe after everything I could still get it back. So that's why I decided to sell it to my roommate. And because of that, they made the accusation that, oh, he's giving it to his roommate so he can use it.
I never imagined this story going down this direction, but that's crazy. That's crazy. So obviously you must have split up with this girl.
Oh yeah, I've had no contact ever since.
Okay, so you also got a DUI. Well, when did that come into there?
That happened prior to the
So it's separate
incident.
from this.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there a point where you're like you described being in the jail as rock bottom? Was that your rock bottom?
Yeah. I think the TRO jail, that incident, that was my rock bottom, because I thought I had just picked myself up in life. I was working at Panasonic. I was living on my own in OC with roommates, and things were fine. I was partying. I think after that, like I feel like because the DUI is not a felony, but this was. That's what really made the weight of it heavier.
So you're on probation. You do 70 weeks or 70 hours of community service.
This happened during COVID, actually. This like right before COVID, 2019. So the courts were shut down and shut off, right, for a year. And come 2021, that was when they restarted back up again. They're like, oh, we need you in court for this case. Luckily, I had bought the restaurant by then.
You have some of the language of a person who's done some work healing. I can hear that in you, right? Because I'm also on that journey, right, of healing. I think I'll probably still have a long way to go. What actions or what happens in your life after this felony, and where are your thoughts there?
My thoughts were just to put my head down and get it done. I knew that it was hard for me to seek employment, because at the same time when the TRO happened, I got laid off of my job. So everything all crashed at once, and I have to say I would be lying if I wasn't suicidal at one point.
At that point?
Yeah.
And then how did you come out of that?
Let's say like baby steps. Alternatively, I also drank a lot after that. Continued the drinking and lifestyle well into right before I bought the restaurant with James, who's my ex-partner in the business.
Man, that's a lot of heavy stuff in your life. To shift from that to go into restaurants seems not to honor all that you've gone through to this point and in your story. So COVID happens. Now the whole world is isolating, and that's a tough time. You're laid off of your job. You have this conviction or plea deal happening. Like, that's a very dark, low place. And how do you get out of that? How do you aside from the drinking, which is not a long-term fix of anything?
Well, I can tell you I didn't do any self-work at that time yet. And if I had to relate any of like how I got out or like healed at that point in life, it would probably be like because I had friends around me were extremely helpful, who were there for me. And I just had like to sit with myself and keep pushing through. Like I had to stay resilient.
That's so easy just to say, but that's hard. That's hard. And what does your support network look like at this time?
Just my friends. I was living in OC, so away from family, and it's not like I wanted to tell them all that either. I kept it under wraps. So
now are you back here? Are you still living in OC?
I currently live in the same Rosemead home I grew up in.
Okay.
I built my own room.
Okay. You built it?
Yeah. At the garage, we separated in half, and from a very rundown garage, I did all the furnishings and drywall.
Cool.
All that. Yeah.
That must feel good when you saw the end product.
Yeah, it was a lot of work.
Yeah,
But
awesome.
it was helpful because that stuff translates to the restaurant too, because everything's always breaking at the restaurant.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Before we transition into the restaurant story, though, we ask each guest to bring an item with them. What did you bring with you today, Aaron?
So the item I brought is this book. I know we didn't get to that part in my story yet, but there's a period where I opted out of a relationship with really like a great woman that taught me, like, gave me the direction to this path that I'm on. It showed me to seek introspection, to really understand what compassion, empathy, emotional attunement was. And this was the book that really laid it out briefly, like it's simply and briefly. It's called How to Be Loved by Humble the Poet. And I actually put some tabs on here for some more meaningful chapters.
You see?
Yeah. There's also pictures of my dog in there.
How to Be Loved.
So if you flip to any of the tabs, you can let me know whether or not you agree with what that says on the page.
Okay, sure. I'll read a couple here. Real love isn't honoring what's perfect. It's embracing all that's imperfect. Oh yeah, I agree with that 100%. Forgiveness isn't saying everything is cool. It's saying that the uncool things aren't worth holding on to. Yeah. We are not victims of our past traumas. We are students of them. Love isn't the glue that keeps us together. It's the fuel that keeps us working at it. If you want to have expectations, have them for yourself and see how many you can live up to. Attunement goes beyond walking in someone's shoes. Instead, it's entering into their skin. Love isn't a prize we win. It's the game we keep playing. Oh man. Our relationship with ourselves is the most important one we have and sets the tone for any other relationship we'll enter. Oh yeah, for sure. Thanks for bringing that.
No problem.
I think you said you let go or you dismissed a relationship you had with this woman.
Legally had to, as well as, of course, emotionally.
Oh, what do you mean legally had to?
I was still running off external validation. So I didn't recognize, if I had this mindset when I was with her, I'm pretty sure things would have been different. But it took her leaving and me feeling the pain, the misunderstanding of myself and questioning why did I fail this? A past pattern of mine is if I fail something, I tend to overcompensate.
You recognize that in yourself.
Yes.
Overcompensate.
Yeah. Because the sting of failure is just, it feels so permanent that I feel like an average amount of work wouldn't be enough. So therefore I just put in a little bit more effort to make sure I'm able to achieve or overcome it.
There's so many different angles to go here, right, with your story. But
I guess we say I'm colorful.
For the interest of time, I want to make sure that we can get to your story with the Aloha Food Factory. But before that, Aaron, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Sometimes even the best of us can slip up. That's why the law offices of Scott Wormuth are here to pick you back up again.
And while they strive to get you the biggest compensation possible, oh my gosh,
their main concern is your health and recovery. They work closely with doctors and insurance companies to make sure you get the proper medical treatment.
Initial consultations are free, so give them a call.
At the law offices of Scott Wormuth, we're with you all the way.
I'm Scott Wormuth. We've been fighting for your rights for more than 40 years.
All right, we're back with Aaron. If you are not a regular listener of the show and you're like, wow, is this what it's really about? It actually is. We do really, or I really do want to know what makes our guests. I really care about knowing that. Sometimes it's deeper than others, and this is definitely a show that is a lot deeper. And I just, thank you, Aaron, for your vulnerability because it's not easy. So before that, though, when we come back from break, we ask a question from these cards, and they're just so we can get to know each other a little bit more, and also the listener can. So I'm going to be answering as well.
Right.
And let me know if you want me to answer first.
Sure.
Okay.
We'll see.
If you could go back in time, what one thing would you tell your teenage self?
That's funny because this is one of the questions that comes up a lot for me. Sometimes I process some of my emotions with AI. I know it's not the best thing to do. I've done a lot of reflection on this, and also there's the CBT therapy that I did with my therapist before, where we traveled back in time to visit my past self, specifically the memory where I got into a fight at the park, got beat up. And I would tell him that everything is going to be just fine, and you're not going to believe who you turn out to be.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. If I could go back to tell my teenage self, I would say, seek the advice and follow people if you want to become them, not have what they have, but if you want to become who they are. When I was young or younger, maybe even in my 30s, I would see the success that someone had, but that was mostly in their career, what they gained, not who they were. And I would say only follow those people when you look at who they are, you want to be that person. I wish I would have heard that. And I wish I would have only sought out the advice and followed those type of people. Because you can't separate the two. You can't separate the person who has a business from the person who is the person at home. They are actually the same thing, right? So if you could go back in time, what one thing would you tell your teenage self? Let us know. So Aaron, back to your story. You're really, sharing a lot here with us, and you're dealing with this. You said you went to therapy, CBT therapy, and what made you want to buy a business, a restaurant?
Well, in a sense, the business kind of found me. It just happened. Everything in life happens for a reason, right? I had gotten laid off. I took my time, kind of enjoying or recovering during unemployment. As working 9 to 5. That was my life before. I decided to go into real estate with my friend James, who's a real estate broker, and this opportunity came to him. And it was from Betty because he was associated with Betty before. Maybe just stopped by the restaurant, give her his contact. And during COVID, it was really tough for her. She was 75 at the time, and she was quite capable even at that age. I saw her lifting 50-pound bags of rice, like it was just a toy or something. That is how the restaurant the opportunity came about. It was me having a passion for food myself. I would be posting everything I would make at home. Everything was home cooked. It was a great way to save money. And eventually it got to the point where I would always constantly be trying to replicate new dishes, putting my own twist on it, kind of like Bruce Lee, absorb what is useful, discard what isn't, add to it whatever makes it your own. So that's kind of how I approach a lot of problems in life and craft a solution. I collect a bunch of examples or similar case scenarios, and I kind of culminate the best ones to adequately address the solution. Back to the story of how the restaurant happened is, as I was posting these, James thought, oh, maybe Aaron's a good person to go on this opportunity with. He wanted to be the silent partner, which he was, which is why he also got bought out. But it was a happy buyout. Kind of want to zoom in on the opportunity though. I agreed. I checked with my family. One of my sisters said it was, that sounds good. Let him try it out. My other sisters, who also had a business, she said that it's risky and it's tough. You shouldn't do it. There was both sides. I was very curious, and I had worked in the restaurant industry before. I was delivering Chinese food throughout college, so I figured, why not give it a shot? I have nothing to lose. When we started, it was also in the midst of COVID. So aside from learning everything there is I could in that time frame to run a restaurant, I also had to learn how to navigate the new challenges of COVID.
Oh, that's tough. Oh, compared to everything else that you share, that's nothing. Okay.
It's in my realm of difficulty, I guess. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. And so you got through that time, and then they're how was that for you?
Afterwards, or
trying to survive COVID, or was that even a challenge for you? Because other restaurants, they had to be able to switch to takeout and all the DoorDash and Grubhub and all that stuff.
We didn't have the third party ordering apps at that time. Betty kept it very traditional. When you walk in to Aloha, I don't know if you've been there prior to 2020, but it looked like a donut shop in a sense. You just walk up, and then there's just the really archaic signs up. That helped us in a way where we didn't have to immediately go full service, and I was able to slowly learn the trade, learn how to actually run a restaurant. There's a lot more to it, and I would not recommend it. It's gut wrenching. Even to this day, I would say you have to really have a strong stomach to run it.
So you get through that. Did Betty hang on for a little bit?
Me and Betty are still close, and she's kind of adopted me as her nephew in a sense. So that's why I call her Auntie Betty, as does everyone else. and she taught me basically everything I know. She entrusted the business to me, and now I'm doing my part to honor her and her legacy by keeping it going. You know, that's a part of like my daily purpose, just to make sure this thing is running sustainably for the long haul.
How have customers received you as a new owner?
There was a strategic approach to that, actually.
Okay.
We kept it in. We publicly marketed it as it was still under the family. That's what we would tell everyone, because we didn't want the shift to be too drastic where we would lose sustainability by losing all the regulars. The same people that make the food 10 years ago are still there. You know, I rely on them to keep it going, to run the show, so then I could be working on the business itself.
Betty didn't have social media.
No.
But now I see you, and you're growing that whole thing, right?
Yes, I really have to thank my friend Alex, who's my videographer from Reach Media. He's allowed me to really practice my on-screen delivery, and with all these videos that we're cranking out, it's really helpful, and it's really making the vision of the long-term sustainability something that's more realistic.
Aaron, in the interest of time, we want to make sure we get to your SGV3, so we're going to shift gears a little bit here. So Aaron, this is the SGV3, and we want to know your 3 favorite places to eat here in the San Gabriel Valley. So
sounds good.
What's number 1?
Well, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. First one, it's going to be ABC Cafe.
Oh, okay.
I mean, based on your reaction, do you agree? I don't know.
Well, it has a lot of nostalgia for me. I'll just say that.
The reason why is because I have had so many like fond memories there with my friends. After the club somewhere in LA, we would stop by ABC before we're heading back to OC, or we just go to ABC. It was always open, and it always had good food. For me, like, I don't care about the service too much. The food there, though, value wise, you get your bang for buck.
Oh yeah, and so I've been there. Well, so I used to go there like 92 to 96, right? And that's when you could smoke in there, and like a lot of gangs.
I didn't even know that.
And so it was a very different place there. So I have a lot of memories there, right, with going there after basketball games and with coach and whatnot. But then I went there again maybe last year. Totally different. It's totally different now.
In a good way or a bad way?
In a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way. But the deals are still great and the food's still good. What do you like to get there?
There's 2 items that I always have a hard time deciding between. One is their classic steak and eggs with the black pepper sauce, and it's because it's a huge giant piece of steak all the time. It's like perfectly made, marinated. The second is a baked seafood over rice dish. It's kind of topped off with a bechamel sauce and some Swiss cheese. Classic Hong Kong dish. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Oh, I like it. I like it. I think you're the first one to say ABC Cafe on their SGV3. So awesome. All right. What's the second place?
The second place, shameless plug, would be Aloha Food Factory.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you like to eat there?
Well, there is our classic macadamia nut pancakes, something you can't really get anywhere else. Second item, our spicy garlic shrimp. It is similar, if not better, than Giovanni's on Oahu. And then the third item is our classic loco moco. Like, I've had multiple customers coming in telling me that they went to Hawaii, they had loco moco, it didn't suffice, so they came straight to Aloha after they returned.
Oh, nice.
That's a funny story to hear.
How do you make your gravy?
Oh, that's a secret.
Like, is it with like a beef stock? Is it beef based?
It's beef based.
Beef based.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some very it takes a few steps to get the gravy like that. I think that's all I can share.
Okay. Awesome. And then your third place?
888 Seafood Restaurant.
Okay. On Valley.
Yeah, on Valley.
Valley Walnut Grove.
That's my preferred spot for dim sum. And who doesn't like dim sum? You get all the variety, the little small plates, the dumplings. It's delicious. And they've also been improving in terms of ambiance as well. Like, I went there recently. There was a huge big screen there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You like at one of the walls. It used to be a dragon and a phoenix, but now it's like a big screen. They can like slide it apart, and then it's like a big TV screen. You can watch the football game there or something. And also, that's where James got married recently, last November.
James is
my ex-partner in the business.
Oh, okay.
And we're still good friends. Like I said, it was a happy buyout.
Oh, was it like a full-on like Chinese banquet wedding.
Yeah.
Oh man, I've been to a few of those, and like the food.
The food.
Everybody's like was it called like cold appetizer, and then maybe
First dish, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's lobster. Maybe sometimes there's lobster. Got me hungry now. Well, Aaron, thank you so much for coming on the show, sharing your story, being so vulnerable and open with us. I really, really do appreciate it. And I hope the people who listen to that, who now hear your story and know where your pedigree is from, you know, what built you, that have a new found perspective on who you are, your life, what you've been through, and maybe even more respect for you as a whole person and not just a business owner.
Thank you, Russell.
Yeah.
You know, I want to thank you for actually having this outlet for especially guys like me who really don't have anywhere to bring this all out of. So I really appreciate it. And it's been very helpful, and it's really helped me look at a different angle in terms of reflection upon myself.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for that. If people want to come check out your food or see you online, what's the best way to do that?
You can follow at Aloha Food Factory. You can slide in the DMs if you like, and we'll give you a timely response.
Awesome. And where are you guys located?
Oh, we're located right off the 710 freeway north, near Cal State LA on Valley Boulevard. So as soon as you exit the freeway, make a right and you're there.
Awesome.
Very easy to get to.
Awesome. Well, Aaron, thank you again for being here. I appreciate it.
Also.
Well, I have to take a deep breath after that one. There's another one in the books for you guys. So much in that story resonated with me in the experience of fear and maybe not so much the bullying, but the reasoning that one makes for things that happen to them. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I hope you get from this story, but you know, there's this recurring theme of great difficulty, great struggle, and overcoming. More difficulty and more struggle and overcoming. You know, those sorts of things can only sharpen a person as long as they don't give up. You know, as long as they keep going. They'll either squash you or they'll sharpen you. So I hear in Aaron's story that he used these things in his life to continually move forward and learn something from it. So I hope you got that as well. Thanks for listening. And if you like this kind of content, please subscribe. Don't forget to like and share. And you can find more of our content on our website, mysgv.net. And until next time, we'll see you then. Thank you for joining us on the MySGV podcast. Check out more of our content on our website, mysgv.net. This show was produced by Scott Warmoth, directed by Russell Mano, edited by Victoria Allers, and original music by Yone OG. If you'd like to join us next week as we capture and share more stories from our diverse community, feel welcome.
Nice mother. No, kind of mother.